time to tune in and grab a seat. Food for thought, you in for a treat. Hot topics, knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Marty McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Doni Jones, she the one you wanna see. Doni Jones Live, this is where you wanna be. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Welcome to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly, trying to make it do what it do on a beautiful day.
You are making it do what it do.
It's
a gorgeous day outside. And if you're outside and you need some tree work done, give us a call at 770-413-8733.
Yep.
That's 770-413-TREE. I'm talking about if you need tree work and you're in the Atlanta area,
Yep.
give me a call. If you're not in the Atlanta area, you know.
Right, and if you're in the
Give us a
hood
call
area,
about the
if you're
show.
in the hood area, she comes over there.
I go
If you're in the
everywhere.
ghetto area, the upscale area, she's
go
gonna
everywhere.
work it out.
In fact, a lot of my customer base is what you consider the hood. I don't consider the hood. I consider them the community. A lot of my work is in the community. You know why? Because I proudly serve the community because I love my people. So if my people need some tree work,
you used to say
give me a
you
call.
probably serve the underserved, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I proudly serve the underserved. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of times when people from our community call tree services or plumbers or construction people, they go, oh, we don't service that area or we don't service that zip code. And I'm like, really? Our money is green just like somebody else's money is
Right.
green. So
And-
I
and-
want
yeah.
to serve our community.
And I'm not
So,
mad
yeah.
about that. So if you got a little bit of change and you need some tree work done,
Yeah, give us a call.
no,
Give us a
honestly,
call.
even if you don't have that much money, she will work something out
I
for
try
you.
to work with people. I really do. I
Yeah.
really do. Now we ain't the cheapest tree service in town, but we do try to work with people and take care of their trees and stuff like that. But what's going on in your world, man?
The regular rotations. Actually, I just came back from a wonderful retreat, learning about disasters. Because we have disasters that happen in Georgia all the time.
Yeah.
And just for my church community and just the area that I service.
Yeah.
What do you do when a disaster happens, and how do you
Yeah.
prepare for it? What's like, who's on first, who's on second,
Yeah.
and like for ministers, if something happened in your area, do you have a contact list of saying, okay, let me call so and so, and if I don't hear from her, make sure I have their emergency contact number.
Yeah.
Or if we need to house people, what does that look like? So I just went on a whole little retreat learning about how to help and service people.
That's awesome.
yes,
But you
trying.
know what? Because we were talking about ideas. Like for those of you that don't know, if you're new to the show, we do the show every week, and we have certain segments that we do, and we have certain themes to certain segments. But what you just said actually made me kind of rethink our third segment, which is where we usually talk a little bit about entrepreneurship or something.
Yes.
But you were talking about what do you do in an emergency? What do you do? How are you set
Yeah.
up to be able to deal with certain things when you have emergencies in your life? And I think a lot of times with companies, they don't necessarily think about that. So I'd love to talk about that.
You know what? That's going to be great because I was thinking in our third segment where we talk about entrepreneurs, stuff like that, about working together and like doing partnerships.
Yeah.
Your company and another company might be working together, but it goes along with that because even in disaster ministries, I have churches that are around my church.
Yes.
We might not be in the same denomination, but we are in the same faith in the sense of helping people.
Yes.
So it's like, why can't I make a partnership or organization with the
Yes.
church up the street
Yes.
that has a food pantry that we might not service, but I can send people up there and just say, okay, hey, in a disaster crisis, can I call you and say,
Yeah.
hey, we need some food delivered here,
Yeah.
or can we, basically just working together. So I think that'd be a good topic because
I
sometimes
think that'll be a really good topic,
Yes.
and I think people do need to get their house in order because things do happen and you do need things like FEMA and you do need emergency services.
Yes, you do.
And you do need ministry and stuff like that.
right, and you
know?
do need tree companies that come out and do stuff for free.
That's
Yes.
right. And if your house gets crushed, you just call Tyler Perry. There you go.
Wait, why are you going to talk about Tyler Perry? He didn't got a tree company.
I probably should not put that out there like
What?
that. I'm just okay. Tyler, I'm sorry. I'm just playing.
Why would
I'm
you
just
even
playing.
bring that?
No,
like,
let me tell you what
need some
happened.
help, call Tyler.
No, let me tell you what happened. For real, on a for real note. So I'm cleaning this up, Tyler. So because I want you coming after me. Okay. So a few years ago, we did a job, and we had got a call from one of the media stations, from the news stations in the community in Atlanta, and so they wanted us to come out and see if we could help this lady who had a tree fall on her house, and she didn't have insurance, and she was elderly, and her family didn't really have a way to help take care of her. So we went ahead and took care of the tree, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, what's she gonna do about this house?
Yeah.
And come to find out, Tyler Perry not only helped her with the house, he had it rebuilt. He paid
That
for
is wonderful.
everything. I mean, it was on the news and stuff like that. So just, give a little shout out to Tyler Perry for always serving the community.
Tyler.
Yeah.
I give you props. And if you need any other extra work, Mr. Perry, just holla at us. We'll cut your tree or trim a bush or do something.
We'll do something.
Work it out. And I will give Tyler props because he's one of them that I've said this in the past. And when he first was kind of coming out with a lot of the plays and everything, I was a hater. I'm gonna lie. I was hating.
Really?
I'm saying because he was doing so many of them.
How can you hate on Tyler?
Well, you can hate, because people look at at certain times people look at the way that you present yourself,
right?
Negative, and I was a lot younger, and I would say a lot more immature.
Yeah.
But you would listen to some of the media stuff. It's like, well, why does he have to make money, dressing up in a dress, putting the dress on?
Right.
Why does he perpetrate the African Americans in this kind of way? You always got someone that's really, really goofy and was like slapstick funny.
Right.
Those kind of avenues. Yeah. But then later on, reading his story, learning from him, I'm like, you know what? That guy, excuse me, had tenacity and heart and stood on his faith believed in himself.
That's right.
And kept pushing. I think I heard this phrase the other day. Commitment will get you started, but consistency will get you to the finish line.
Can you write that down someplace?
If I can remember it again, I will.
Write that down.
Him being committed to actually do the plays, but consistent to get to the victory, his goal.
That's right.
So I give him, extra.
I want to give him props, seriously.
Extra props.
And I think one of the things for me, I actually found out about Tyler Perry through my sister Ruth, who is now passed. But when she first moved to Atlanta, she would always have, this was back in 2008 or 9. And so she had these videos, these DVDs. And so she would pop them in, and it was like these stage plays and stuff like that with Tyler Perry. I think, and hers were not bootleg. I'm just saying. They were not.
That's how he got his name out there with the bootleg ones.
Okay, well, maybe they weren't.
Yeah,
okay.
It was most likely.
But anyway.
Go ahead.
I ain't saying nothing, man. Well, it had a sticker on it. It had like the Tyler Perry.
Don't call Tyler sticker.
No, it was like the real sticker. So I'm thinking it was legit. So, and it was in a case. So I would watch those, and I saw how inspiring they were, and how it reminded me of people in our community, whether it's my grandma, or my aunts, or uncles, or different relationships in our community that the mainstream media don't talk about. So I actually appreciated that. And they talked a lot about faith. And I'm just going, and you're a man of God, so I can say this with full confidence. It just seems to me that we need to get back to our roots. I mean, I don't care what a person believes in, but there seems to be a turning away from really getting back to people's faith, however that looks to you. And I feel like with Tyler Perry and his message was that your faith is important. You know what I mean? Yeah. And leaning on those traditional values that we actually had to lean on to get through what we went through in this country. I think that's important, and I think we need to lean on those values. And so, Tyler, I want to give you a high five.
I give you a high five and a prop.
Thank you for bringing those.
And, creating an avenue for other African Americans.
Yeah.
He opened up Hollywood to, and it's funny because he even said one time, everybody in the urban or black community knew him.
Yeah.
But he goes out to Hollywood and they're like, who are you?
Yeah.
You're Tyler P. And it's like trying to reinvent itself to Hollywood.
Yeah.
So it's like I give you props.
Right. Well, he also said something about, we were all trying to, get like back in Hollywood, everybody was trying to get a quote unquote seat at the table. Right. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to go make my own table.
That's me.
And I'm like,
that's something that I do.
Tyler.
I want to make my own.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be accepted. I don't want to be discovered.
And I don't want to be tolerated.
Yes.
I want to be celebrated.
Make my own and, have my own voice that say, I can say no. Or
that's right.
Anyway,
that's right. So I just, I want to give him his props, but we didn't get a chance to talk about how our week has been, and I just want to tell you that I am finally recovered from my little injury.
Oh, that's right. Your skateboard, not skating, but snowboarding injury.
It was not snowboarding; it was skiing. So I'm actually feeling better. I honestly thought that I had either broke something, ruptured something, or done something because I.
Did you go to the doctor to get it checked out? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I did not go to the doctor because I went to a massage therapist.
Oh, yeah, they know more. They could have diagnosed that quickly.
Hold on. And I also went to an energy. What?
Did you give her a happy ending?
No, I don't go to those. The fact that you even say that.
What?
No. The fact that you would, it scares me. That means you've been to one of those places.
Not necessarily.
So I went to a massage therapist, and then I went to a lady that works with energy and healing and stuff like that. And she uses natural type of techniques, special kind of techniques to
No.
So anyway, she uses special kind of techniques to work on your body so that if you're out of alignment or if you have some type of muscular injury,
this the juicer? I'm just trying to make sure that I missed something because you said the juicer is telling you how to do this.
No,
right?
It wasn't the juicer. That's a different person.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot of naturopathic stuff going on. But anyway, I feel amazing. I feel a lot better, and I just want to tell you that. But anyway, how was yours? How was your weekend?
Clearly, yours was better than mine.
No, you the one getting massages with happy endings.
When did I even say that?
You literally just said, "Did I get a massage with a happy ending?"
Right. I'm saying.
Wait a minute. First of all,
you're in the mountains, snowing, skiing, and you're living a different kind of lifestyle. You got your, you said you had some pains and everything. And I didn't want to know. Did you feel happy at the end of it?
I felt happy at the end, but I did not get happy.
Right. Did you feel happy at the end?
Oh my God.
You want to say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I didn't feel happy.
Marty, you got to be mindful of the fact that we are on.
That's what I'm saying.
Some of the stations that we're on are religious.
That's why I'm trying to see why you're talking about the other aspect of it. And he's like, they did this special techniques to just make me feel good.
Techniques, and I do feel a lot better. But regardless,
I think we
only got a minute or so. How was your week?
I told you what I did. I said I dealt with disaster stuff. I didn't get no massages and.
Yeah, but you said when I called you, you said you were busy, but that you had a break, and that
and during that break, I was at that training thing, and it was good. It was nice.
Right.
I already explained what we went through of learning about how to help with people's disasters. But yes, I think is it about time for us to take a break or something?
I don't think so. It's like another minute, dude. So you better think of something.
Okay, I don't know. Well, I will say I learned, like I said, about helping with people in disasters and.
Did those people get happy?
Hey, actually, a lot of them, they did. They got their houses and places, fixed.
You know what's so funny? Some people probably don't even know what the heck we talk. Because we're on religious stations. They're probably going, I don't understand what they mean. But
we're currently on a religious station. I think we're going to take a break now.
We're going to definitely take a break and change the subject.
You're listening to Doni. Right now, and we'll be back.
Marty McFly, also known as Marty Ringer.
Yes.
You call him if y'all have a complaint.
I'm just going to pray for a minute.
Give us a call at 1-888-349-DONI. That's 1-888-349-3664. And give us a few comments about the show.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break.
I'm just going to pray for a little while.
Right back.
Yep.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Now when the weather starts to change, the rents start to fall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
If it's looking kinda weak and it's looking kinda bleak, for a tree specialist call.
Don's Tree Service.
If the trees in your yard are just too tall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
Hey everybody, it's me, Wanda Smith, and I'm here with some great information. I don't know if you know, but it's hurricane season, and it's a great time for you to think about having trees removed before one fall on your home. That's something you don't want to happen. Listen, I called Don's Tree Service on a Monday. They were here in just a few days. The price was right, the staff was right, and I'm happy with everything they've done. So hey, if I were you, I would sit down with my family and talk about having trees removed before the hurricane comes and hit your home.
If you want more information about your trees, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE.
You know, one of the things that frustrates me to no end is when I call a company and as soon as it picks up, it says, please hold. And your approximate hold time is 4 to 5 to 10 minutes. It frustrates me because I need some help. But then I was wondering about when we get on our knees and pray, does the spiritual angel kind of picks up and says, I hear your prayer, but please hold for the operator. And it might take you 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 months. But knowing that the operator will pick up and handle your problem. I think in those times, God is trying to tell us to just hold on for the blessing. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty Ringer, and I'd like to invite you to join us each and every Sunday morning at St. Mark Lutheran Church. Now, you might not be in the East Point or the Atlanta area, but you can always go online at stmarklutheranchurch.org and check out any of our services. I would love to just spread the good news of Christ to you. If you're here in the Atlanta area, our address is 4137 Washington Road in East Point, right down from the Atlanta airport. And if you're not around the ATL, you can always log on at stmarklutheranchurch.org. And there you can be a part of any of our worship services. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand this one message. God is trying to tell you to hold on until your blessing comes. And may God's grace and peace be with you.
Hey, this is Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. And as a small business owner, I get asked all the time, how did you do it? Now, for those of you that don't know, I basically started a tree service with $43 and a dream right here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Now, during my journey, I've definitely been blessed to see the mountaintop, but I've also been in some rough valleys. And in my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I share my experience. My book really is a real woman's journey to building a happy, healthy, and successful life. But I gotta be honest with you, I read self-help books and I listened to audio programs about success, and I was still having difficulty achieving success in my life until I really got a hold of certain principles that made a difference. In my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I get very real and raw about what I did to build my company, my family, and my life. So please go check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous, on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.DoniJonesLive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I'm a little early there, ain't I?
Just a little.
Do not eat potato chips in between sets.
Yeah, in between sets. Sets.
Didn't I say sets?
I just want to make sure it sounded like sets, because you don't need to eat potato chips. But anyway, Donnie, I was overhearing a conversation.
Yes, with the T on the end.
Yeah. The conversation with one of the, I guess, tree workers. And this is
between me and one of the tree professionals.
Right,
yes.
right. Okay. Yeah. That's a good way of saying it. But I was overhearing you ask him about the curvy tree, and can you correct the curve in the tree?
You what happens is it starts growing that way, either because it's growing away from something, or it's growing, or it's searching for sunlight. So yeah, there's really
it's interesting. Like I was saying, I went to a retreat, and the retreat was out in Tallapoosa, Georgia, and in the woods, every once in a while I would see a tree that was growing oddly.
Yeah.
It'll take like a right turn almost, and then go up. And I'm like, okay, now I know that's not natural. Well, it seems like it's not natural, but I know they're looking for that stimuli in a sense, the water or the sunlight and everything.
That's right.
But if a tree is in your yard and starts growing that way, is there a way that you can, I guess, guide it into the certain? If it's a young
tree, yeah. If it's a young tree, you can kind of try to redirect it, or you can try pruning it. Thank you for asking about trees, because I'm supposed to be talking about trees at some point during our show.
I try to earn my paycheck and keep you focused a little.
Go on with your bad self. I'm gonna start paying them too.
I just need the payment. Yeah.
So exactly.
But no.
But yeah, it's there's different type of tropisms trees can have, like phototropism, geotropism.
Okay, wait. Tropism.
Tropisms.
Okay, just assume that I don't know a whole lot about trees. What's a tropism?
It's the causology of something. So
you're going to throw another word out there.
No.
See, you just trying now.
No. So for example, phototropism is if it's growing towards light. Geotropism, it's growing away from something. So stuff like that. So if a tree is young, like it's a little sapling or something, and it starts growing the wrong way, you could probably, get it restaked or something like that. But if it's a mature tree, you can try pruning it, or something like that. But for the most part,
you can't do anything with an old tree, like an old dog or old person. Because I'm thinking
pruning always helps, but
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like my marriage and stuff. She might grow towards me or grow away from me depending on the stimuli.
But once you was doing good in that area.
I am doing good, but I just know that she's an old tree now. I can't prune her no way no more. I can't guard it. It's just I got what I got.
You got what I got. You got what I got.
Fit me 17 years ago when we started out. I could have put some pegs in there.
Can you believe it's 17 years? Does it feel like 17 years?
Trust me, I can believe it. I can feel it.
Mine's is 19 years.
Yeah.
But you know what I love about that? We two people of color that are in beautiful long-term relationships.
Me and you, yes.
And people always talk about how, black love is this and ain't that or whatever. But you know what? Black love stands strong when we do the work. But speaking of black love.
Yeah.
And loving one another. And treating each other kind.
I love my wife.
You know what was in the community? This actually has nothing to do with relationships. Well, actually, in a way, it does. You know, the hot topic now is Chris Rock, right?
Oh yeah. Christopher Rock and his little special, his stand-up special. You know what? I gotta give Chris a little bit of props for me, okay? Because majority of Chris's, I guess, career with me, he's really not been that funny. He's been for me, and I'll say this for me, he's been that giggle funny. Doing this stand-ups, it'll be a few.
No, see, I've always thought he was laugh out loud funny.
No.
But on this special, I thought that he went hard. Like, he went hard. Yes. But to me, some of it was a little corny. But I would love to have him on the show. So.
Well, I will say this. I think with celebrities, after a while, after you grow up, after you get mature, there's certain things that you're not going to be the old funny that you used to be, because now some of your topics are different.
So what you're saying is this funny was funnier to you than his old funny?
Than some of his older funny stuff.
Okay,
but
I'm surprised.
But I think that it's more... who said it? Actually, Andre 3000 said it on an interview with him.
Quote Andre 3000. Okay, go ahead.
Don't.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a bigger name than, okay. Andre 3000 was saying, when you develop and evolve, you can't really rap about the same things no more. You can't really tell the same jokes. He's like, am I going to rap about AARP now? I'm taking my kids to school now. Right. Certain things is irrelevant now to my audience. So at the same time, you have Cat Williams that do a stand-up, and he still want to talk about sex.
Right.
And it's like, dude, that's a lot of people are kind of old. Now, Chris is talking about, I've spoiled my kids. Yeah. I know a lot of people in my circle that can relate to that they've spoiled their kids. And it's like, okay, did you call it Dennis for the horse? Really?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But that's more relatable, because now I can relate to people of that generation and that age. So in the longer spectrum, for someone that's 25 or 30, he's not as funny. Because certain things didn't connect to you.
You're more relatable to him now. But see, you were that age back then.
I was that age back then.
But you're saying he wasn't relatable to you.
He wasn't as funny.
He wasn't as funny.
I say that he wasn't as funny to me back then. Okay. This time, I guess it was more of a mature comedy. No, I didn't. My side wasn't hurting after this comedy.
Yeah, it wasn't side splitting. Yeah. But I tell you, I just love the fact that he talked about stuff that I feel needs to be talked about. Yes. Some of the stuff we might get into, some of it we might not. But I felt like him talking about racism, and that some stuff that we calling racist ain't really racist.
Right.
Some of the stuff
I agree.
We're like, I'm not a victim. It's like a lot of times progressives like to come into our community and we're always a victim of this and we're always a victim of that. How about we start coming into our community, or actually stay out of our community? That's a whole nother thing. Mm-hmm. And let us fix the stuff that we need to fix. But they always want to come into our communities and tell us what we don't have and how they got the answer. Right. And that's not empowering to a people.
Well, but he's a comedian.
Right, but I'm saying he
Right.
I liked his message.
like
I'm
his
talking about
message.
other
I got you.
people.
I got you.
I
I
like
got
the
you.
fact that he called out other people
Yeah.
that are always acting like the victim or trying to make somebody as a victim and stuff like that. When sometimes it's just, stuff happens.
Stuff happens. Right.
And I so that's one of the things I did like about the special.
I appreciate that. And sometimes little nuggets that certain people may or may not like, but he was like, hey, I've kept myself in good health. I've worked out.
Yeah.
So don't be mad at me if I get someone that looks good at a younger age.
There you go.
I have, and the people that are around me have not.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think, really, I'm sitting there watching it with my wife, and certain things when he's like the difference between dating a 25-year-old versus a 45-year-old.
Come on now, preach.
25, they're happy with the simple stuff.
Yeah.
Some shoes, a purse.
Yeah.
Okay. The people that I'm around, they need their roof fixed.
Yeah.
They do got a car, they do got some stuff.
Yeah.
That's a relatable, understandable, and that was funny to me. Now, when he got into the Will Smith aspect of it, I was cool. He had to vent,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And I'm not mad at it.
That's when I say he went hard.
Right.
Some of the other stuff, I was like, okay, it was funny, but not as funny as some of his other things. But I feel like some of the stuff he said needed to be said.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta tell you, dude, I love Will Smith and I love Chris Rock. I don't know how Will is going to react to this because even the part where he talks about, all of us have been cheated on or all of us have been through stuff.
That's the truth.
But then, we don't get interviewed by the person that
that cheated on us. Right.
Exactly.
That
and I was like,
stupid.
dang.
Did you see those interviews?
I did.
Yeah, that was stupid. But see, it's one of those things when you become the victim and you put your information out there, and then you want to say, well, he's always been picking on us.
Right.
Wait, hold on, brother.
Yeah.
That wasn't my info. You was going through something with her, and y'all needed to deal with that. But now, since you did this, it's more highlighted.
Right.
When this didn't help your career coming up to hit me.
It didn't. Actually,
Uh-huh.
the part where he said, everybody called him a B. Everybody said he was a B.
And he was
Everybody did it was
Yeah.
a B. I tried to call him. He didn't answer my phone call.
Right.
But then other people were saying this about him, and he a B this and a B that. He goes, you know what? You slap a guy that's as small as I am, you are.
You are.
So
And
I'm like, wow.
And it's like, I can't beat you. That's one of those things that you really hear from a man to say out loud. I can't beat this guy.
Yeah.
He knows I can't beat him, but you're gonna take, your
And you're right there at the Oscars.
And what do you say, selective rage or whatever?
Selective rage, yeah.
That you're gonna come up here, hit me, walk back, knowing that, for one, I'm in a situation that I'll belittle myself for trying to fight back.
Right. Right.
It doesn't look good for us as a people for me to fight back.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
You are a B.
Right. And the other thing is, okay, people can say that, he was having a little bit of an out-of-body experience. Everybody goes through stuff. But let me tell you something, Marty, and we've talked about this, and we may not necessarily in-depth talk about it because we're actually starting to be on the other side of it. I've been through stuff. These last few months have been some challenges and stuff. But I can tell you right now, I ain't hit nobody.
Well, I ain't hit nobody that can talk about it. Yeah. Don't just let it go. Let it go.
Okay, so I haven't hit anybody, so you do have to go back to the fact that you're like, wait a minute, this is the Will Smith that we all know and love, and
we just haven't seen that aspect.
We haven't seen that aspect of him, so.
Right. And everybody has their person who they are at home in their private place, and you try not to let that shine.
But that's just it. I don't think that is who he is at home. I think he just exploded and
no. When you do something like that in public, it's a lot of that person in private. It doesn't come like I'm a new person at this moment that I'm gonna come up here and slap somebody. No, you've had rage at home. You've had rage in certain places. I'm saying, even though I'm a pastor, I'm a minister, who I am at church is one thing. However, every blue moon, they'll call me out on something.
Well, he did say a lot of times this persona that he has as Will Smith, the sunny guy, the cool guy, the swaggy guy. He said it is a persona, which means that I guess at home, I guess I didn't think about the word rage,
right?
But maybe that is one of his issues.
Right. A lot of celebrities understand what's on TV and what you see is what is taped, video coded, edited, and approved to be seen. Now, when you're behind closed doors, I'm saying I've worked with some really national celebrities, producing them in a radio, and I cannot stand them. That personality, who they are.
Yeah.
But when they get on the radio and they cut the mic on, it's like, hey, I'm so and so, and today is a great day, and everybody calls in and loves them, and they're saying the right thing, and then they cut it off, and then they're a real butt.
Wow.
On the other side. And it's like, I don't like you. And like,
so bottom line, you did like the special, and you actually liked it more than his old stuff.
It. Yeah, I think that it gave his.
Well, I definitely liked it. Like I said, I just compared to like Bigger and Blacker and all that kind of sort of Badder and Black, whatever. But anyway, guys, if you have a comment or if you want to tell us how you felt about the show,
give us a call.
Specifically, the Chris Rock Netflix special. Give us a call, 1-888-349-DONNIE. That's 1-888-3.
Turn your volume up. It's time for Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and Marty McFly.
It's time to tune in and grab a seat. Food for thought, you in for a treat. Hot topics, knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Marty McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig some dirt to plant the seed. Spread.
No, but it's hurricane season, and it's a great time for you to think about having trees removed before one fall on your home. That's something you don't want to happen. Listen, I called Don's Tree Service on a Monday. They were here in just a few days. The price was right. The staff was right, and I'm happy with everything they've done. So, hey, if I were you, I would sit down with my family and talk about having trees removed before the hurricane comes and hit your home.
If you want more information about your trees, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE.
One of the things that frustrates me to no end is when I call a company, and as soon as it picks up, it says, please hold. And your approximate hold time is 4 to 5 to 10 minutes. It frustrates me because I need some help. But then I was wondering about when we get on our knees and pray, does the spiritual angel kind of picks up and says, I hear your prayer, but please hold for the operator. And it might take you 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 months. But knowing that the operator will pick up and handle your problem. I think in those times, God is trying to tell us to just hold on for the blessing. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty Ringer, and I'd like to invite you to join us each and every Sunday morning at St. Mark Lutheran Church. Now, you might not be in the East Point or the Atlanta area, but you can always go online at stmarklutheranchurch.org and check out any of our services. I would love to just spread the good news of Christ to you. If you're here in the Atlanta area, our address is 4137 Washington Road in East Point, right down from the Atlanta airport. And if you're not around the ATL, you can always log on at stmarklutheranchurch.org. And there you can be a part of any of our worship services. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand this one message. God is trying to tell you to hold on until your blessing comes. And may God's grace and peace be with you.
Hey, this is Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. And as a small business owner, I get asked all the time, how did you do it? Now, for those of you that don't know, I basically started a tree service with $43 and a dream right here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Now, during my journey, I've definitely been blessed to see the mountaintop, but I've also been in some rough valleys. And in my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I share my experience. My book really is a real woman's journey to building a happy, healthy, and successful life. But I gotta be honest with you, I read self-help books and I listened to audio programs about success, and I was still having difficulty achieving success in my life until I really got a hold of certain principles that made a difference. In my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I get very real and raw about what I did to build my company, my family, and my life. So please go check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous, on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.DoniJonesLive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly. You know, Donnie, I've heard a few times about the slap, which was pretty much a year ago now.
Okay, yeah.
You know, a few people have criticized Chris
Right.
for taking the blow. And he didn't retaliate back, and he just kind of, but I got to be honest in his defense.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm a smaller.
You're a smaller guy.
But at the same time, I've been on stage many times.
Yeah.
In different arenas, and a lot of times when you're on stage and the lights are in front of you, you can't see. You can't see people's faces. You can't see the audience, and and sometimes you don't expect somebody to come up there and slack the taste out your mouth.
Exactly.
And that night, think about you're on this big
And
national.
Will Packer, I think it was Will Packer that produced it.
Right,
He's trying to, okay, how is this going to affect
It's a beautiful
two black men?
stage, but they don't. But see, the thing is, they don't know about this yet.
Right.
Think about that moment. He makes the statement, and people laugh, and then I see, in a sense, a figure coming up. On me. Now, I'm not sure if this figure is making a joke with me.
Right.
If it's a part of the bit, what's really going on.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, and then look at his body language. He leans in.
Yeah.
He leans in like, okay,
what's up, dude? Yeah.
What's up, dude? What's about to happen? And you get hit, and it's like, okay, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Okay, when I was in high school, and I actually preached about this 2 weeks ago. When I was in high school, it was an old girlfriend that I had.
Right.
And I hadn't seen her in a while, because we had broken up. But I saw her. It was after a football game, and I touched her on her shoulder, just to say hi. She turned around and slapped the fire out of me, just pow, for no reason. And at that moment, all I could do was just sit back down in my booth. And kind of figure out, like, wait a minute,
what the heck just happened? Yeah.
Now the whole Arby's is laughing at me right now, because nobody's expecting this.
Yeah.
And I sit back down, and later on they could have called me a B, because I didn't fight this girl in the middle of Arby's.
Well, first of all, thank you for not fighting a girl.
Right. But see, in that kind of situation, a young man does not win.
That's right.
Because if I don't retaliate back, he a B. He's a punk.
Yeah.
If I hit back, you hit a woman, you a punk.
It's not a win-win
There's
situation.
not a win-win. So it's like this on a stage like that. This is live.
Yeah.
This is live, and it's supposed to be, in a sense, black excellence. And I just get slapped in the face on national TV.
Yeah.
What should my response be as the host? Because I'm like, this isn't scripted. This isn't natural.
It's not natural, and I think until you're in that situation, you can't say how you would react.
Right, and most people
really
gave
can't.
Chris during that time. Most people gave Chris more compliments and respect.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he still held himself professional. Now, if this was 2 Chainz,
that would be a different story.
It'd be a little bit different. They would have pulled the gun out then, And
absolutely. But also, my issue was also, Chris did not think this was the first time an African American had produced.
Yes.
It was just like, really, man?
Really, dude? You make us look bad on this one.
Even as you're enraged, you're upset with Chris, but you've got all of Hollywood royalty sitting there, right?
Right.
You even got Denzel over there.
Right.
You're up for an award, and you can't hold your senses enough to go or to pull the dude aside at the end, man, that wasn't cool.
And that's why people would say you a B. Because here's the thing: when you want to pick a fight, you don't pick a fight in front of the teachers where you can easily get broken up.
Come on now.
You don't get into a fight where security is there. You call that brother later on, after the show in the corner, like, let me holler at you.
Yeah.
Let me holler at you. Now, you if you scream, it's going to still take about 5 to 10 minutes before somebody get here.
That's right.
That's a real, person that's like, okay, I want to handle this.
Yeah.
You get up there with the lights with everybody.
But not only that, he's an athlete. I mean, Will Smith is an athlete, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? He's built. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you look at Chris Rock.
Come on.
Like
you said,
he would have been better off, honestly, if he would have used his words. Like if he would have threw something out there.
Use his words.
You know,
because you was gonna have the mic anyway.
Exactly.
If you had to use your words during that time,
like while his acceptance speech said something like G.I. Jane, you could be, I'm gonna make you my G.I. Jane. Oh, whatever kind of
which
funny
way
thing
you could have done it.
Yeah.
Would have been better.
Yeah.
But that's why he said, Will's issue and his hurt really wasn't on Chris.
Yeah.
It was really, wait a minute, my wife been playing games with my son's best friend. You've been playing those special. You've been playing hide and go get it with my son's best friend.
Also,
hold on.
The last person I'd be defending. Also, I'm like, I'd still be sitting here going, I don't care what they say about you. We not even over that thing you just did.
Right? Did you want to interview me about you?
Yeah.
How'd you
and
feel?
then it had high ratings.
Because everybody was saying, how stupid can this woman be? How stupid
and he's
can
forever a meme. Like that crying video, even though he said he wasn't crying, he had hay fever or allergies or something, whatever. But anyway.
I'm sad because we on religious station, so I can't say what I want to say. But I'd be upset too if you did what with his what?
Yeah.
In my house?
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's the house he pays for. It's the lifestyle he built. It's the friend of the son that they gave birth to.
She would have. I'm just saying she would have lost her head and it wouldn't be for the disease. I'm just saying. Hold on now.
But here's the other thing. You notice nobody's saying too much unless I'm not watching enough. I'm looking at the wrong blogs or something like that. And I know we got to get to another subject. I don't want to tire this subject out, but I don't hear a whole lot about her.
She came out with a post I think last week towards the end of this week, and then her son Jaden wanted to come out and make a statement too about him. People calling my mama the B word and this and they. I'm like, hold on, brother, you should talk to your best friend for messing with your mama. But actually, this is just unnecessary hate. On and on. If anything, I'm saying they're not going to really come to fist to blows. And they're not going to come. And it's one of those.
We don't know what else. Like there might be even more stuff that we don't know. We don't know if Will is,
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
So once again, I don't know. But the whole side. But anyway, what else is going on for this? We talked about how, as far as. This is going to be the oddest segue. We'll segue to business, entrepreneurship. But you know what? That's kind of it. Being prepared for whatever.
No. Certain things you can't be prepared. My wife did what with my son's best friend? What? My question is, did you know you was about to get interviewed about this? Was that a surprise, or you agreed to get interviewed about that? Because one of those, that's either just dumb or that's stupid. Wait a
minute. Actually, in a way, we can. The interview thing. Okay, I think I can make this work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got blindsided years ago, and I now I'm comfortable talking about it because it's in the news. I got blindsided because we're busy building a business and trying to do good things in the community and stuff like that, and overcome whatever adversities we've got. Well, I get blindsided because I get a call from somebody in the media saying that another tree service out there with a similar name is doing XYZ and wanted to know if I was affiliated with them, and I was like, whoa, what And so I got blindsided and I had to make a choice.
Yeah.
Going back to fighting back. I could have fought back and I could have went on TV and said all these horrible things about this other person, right? Who happened to be a relative. But instead, I chose over the last 15 years to keep my mouth shut.
Right.
With the exception of a few Facebook posts, which, by the way, if you want to find me on Facebook, I'd love to be your friend, or just follow us. Follow us, Doni Jones Live, DONI, Doni Jones Live. Or you can just be a friend. I think I got like 1,000 more spots. I don't know. But anyway, Doni Jones. But I chose to take this opportunity to better myself. Like, how can we be a better company so people will know that's not us? In fact, the gentleman that I just spoke to over the phone, one of my lead people, a few years ago, he came to me. He's like, with everything in the news, do you think maybe we should change the name of the company? And I said, absolutely not. We're keeping our name. And what we're going to do is we're going to continue to make this name great. And that's exactly what we've done. We've worked hard to build our name so that when people think of us, they think of a good quality tree care. And that's been a blessing. And a few times if somebody gets us confused with that other company, I might lose a client because of that. but I always feel like it'll come back to me. Like
Right.
it'll come back to tenfold if I just continue to do the right thing, continue to treat people right. So maybe as an entrepreneur, you might get hit with something you won't expect with. You might have a loss, or you might have somebody a key person in your organization die, or you might get sick. And you've got to get yourself set up to where you're prepared for that. 2 minutes. So I didn't mean to say that. So you got to I'm trying to be prepared. But one of the things you can do is by organizing your organization. And for me right now, I'm reading a book by the name of Traction, and it's by Gino Wickman. I mentioned it before, but I didn't have for sure. I wasn't sure about the author, but his name is Gino Wickman. And what that book does is it takes you step by step on how to organize your company, organize the people in your company to set it up for success.
Oh.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't do in their organization is set themselves up for success. Like they're so busy working in their business as opposed to working on their business. And I think one of the ways that you can prepare for the future is to work on your business as opposed to in your business.
Right. I think you just said a mouthful, and then I can't come back to say anything but that. Because I agree with you. I'm saying usually it's one of those, you set me up and I can say, I agree. But you know what? Actually, yeah. Being too busy doing the day-to-day processes of your business, you have to do a lot more forethinking too. It's like, what do I need to be prepared for? I think we kind of touched on it. We could touch on it on the other side of it, of being, like I said, I went to the disaster relief, retreat, and in a sense, and at the same time in your business, what do you do in those disasters? And what is your plan B, plan A, and then, okay, working on the long term of my business, what do you do when the market changes or shifts?
Yes.
Like we do, like I do video and audio production.
Yeah.
But now everybody can do it with their phone.
That's right.
How do you shift the business? But anyway, look, we'll talk about this on the other side of the break because we got some.
I think we should talk about that. Yeah.
Talk about with this. So, just if you're just tuning in or just wondering who you're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and me, Marty McFly, and Marty McFly. Yes, and we'll be right back.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Now when the weather starts to change, the rents start to fall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
If it's looking kinda weak and it's looking kinda bleak, who a tree specialist call?
Don's Tree
If the
Service.
trees in your yard are just too tall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
Hey everybody, it's me, Wanda Smith, and I'm here with some great information. I don't know if you know, but it's hurricane season, and it's a great time for you to think about having trees removed before one falls on your home. That's something you don't want to happen. Listen, I called Don's Tree Service on a Monday. They were here in just a few days. The price was right, the staff was right, and I'm happy with everything they've done. So hey, if I were you, I would sit down with my family and talk about having trees removed before the hurricane comes and hit your home.
If you want more information about your trees, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE.
You know, one of the things that frustrates me to no end is when I call a company and as soon as it picks up, it says, please hold, and your approximate hold time is 4 to 5 to 10 minutes. It frustrates me because I need some help. But then I was wondering about when we get on our knees and pray, does the spiritual angel kind of picks up and says, I hear your prayer, but please hold for the operator. And it might take you 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 months. But knowing that the operator will pick up and handle your problem. I think in those times, God is trying to tell us to just hold on for the blessing. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty Ringer, and I'd like to invite you to join us each and every Sunday morning at St. Mark Lutheran Church. Now, you might not be in the East Point or the Atlanta area, but you can always go online at stmarklutheranchurch.org and check out any of our services. I would love to just spread the good news of Christ to you. If you're here in the Atlanta area, our address is 4137 Washington Road in East Point, right down from the Atlanta airport. And if you're not around the ATL, you can always log on at stmarklutheranchurch.org. And there you can be a part of any of our worship services. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand this one message. God is trying to tell you to hold on until your blessing comes. And may God's grace and peace be with you.
Hey, this is Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. And as a small business owner, I get asked all the time, how did you do it? Now, for those of you that don't know, I basically started a tree service with $43 and a dream right here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Now, during my journey, I've definitely been blessed to see the mountaintop, but I've also been in some rough valleys. And in my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I share my experience. My book really is a real woman's journey to building a happy, healthy, and successful life. But I gotta be honest with you, I read self-help books and I listened to audio programs about success, and I was still having difficulty achieving success in my life until I really got a hold of certain principles that made a difference. In my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I get very real and raw about what I did to build my company, my family, and my life. So please go check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous, on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.DoniJonesLive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni, the Tree Lady, certified arborist, by the way, with that guy.
That guy who's going to be taking the second chair on this segment. I'm going to sit over here on the left side. And, back in the day, they had that Jerry Springer moment where, he'd come on and talk at the last minute of what his really thoughts are. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be associated with
I'm going to be quick.
Things,
I'm going to be quick.
But
you just jump in at any point that you want to jump in. All I'm going to say.
Can I just do this real quick?
What?
Public service announcement. The views of this segment do not blame the radio stations or YouTube or any other outlet. And please do not ban us like you did before.
And I'm going to be very quick with this. All I am going to say is that I would like for the people that can hear my voice or see my face, if you're on YouTube or on any of the stations that we're on, to start thinking for yourself and to start doing research for yourself and stop hating your neighbor. And the reason why I'm saying that is because let's look back 3 years and see how all of this has panned out. Now, I would not be mentioning this if I did not have confirmation of what I said 3 years ago. I said, when the truth comes out, it's going to take 3 to 5 years to come out. But all this crazy stuff we're doing, all these needless shots, all this stuff is going to come out. And so it has come out that there's a strong possibility that this virus originated in a lab pertaining to gain of function. There's another thing that came out that we knew and we've known probably for the last 2 years is that masks were not nearly as effective as they thought they were. In fact, let's just say not effective. Let's also just put out there that, shutting schools down, not a good idea. Not a good idea. And our kids are paying for it. Another thing, and then we're going to move on. Another thing is that, when I said something about this a couple years ago about the vaccine having issues pertaining to myocarditis and pericarditis, people were telling me that I was crazy and that a conspiracy theorist and an anti-vaxxer, which I'm not an anti-vaxxer. But now they're talking about the fact that there's a 30% spike in heart attacks between people aged 12 to 39. That is not normal. And the media refuses to attribute it to the COVID vaccine. So if you want to, whatever you want to do, ban me or mark this video or whatever you want to say, you can do that, because the truth is going to continue to come out. And I want people, not just the American people all over the world, to start thinking for themselves, look at the evidence. And by the way, know that there is truth, not the truth, but there is truth. So that's all. Now, for a more spiritual side of our family, let's see what's going on the other side of the mic with Mr. Marty McFly.
I have nothing. Well, you know what?
You can't have nothing.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have something. Because I'm actually speaking about it this week. There's a lady in the Bible. That they call her. Oh, she just already gave me that look like, we're about to do spirit, But there's a lady in the Bible that people always associate with her of just being crazy. or having a bad little reputation in her life.
Yeah.
They when they talk about this, they talk about the woman at the well.
Yes.
You know, and Jesus spoke to this woman at the well, and she had like 5 previous husbands, and the one that she's with right now isn't her husband and everything. And a lot of people associate this woman as having a promiscuous life. You know, because it's like, well, you've been with 5 different men, and this, you might not. And it's one of those things where you don't know other people's stories.
That's right.
You know,
that's true.
During that time, if you were married to an individual, to a man, and unfortunately, if that man died, then the brother was supposed to actually married you to take care of you and your his brothers.
True. Yeah.
You know, but if that brother died, then the other one had to take care of it.
That's right.
And it goes on, but not assuming that this woman had a bad life,
right?
You know, and at the same time, the Bible actually never says what really occurred that she has these kind of people. She might have been dealing with one of the Boaz brothers.
Well, we don't know.
You never know. You
That's
know,
right.
And if you don't know about the Boaz brothers, you know, Boaz was a good man in the Old Testament, but
you know the Bible way better than I do. So
yeah. So, and I'm saying Boaz with the Z on the end of it, but you never know if this lady was dating one of his relatives,
right?
You know, because a lot of people, I think, right now they still date some of his relatives, like broke ass, lazy ass, you know, trifling ass, and, you know, the one that won't get up and work ass, you know. And I think that she might have dealt with 5 of them.
Wow,
and just said it didn't work out. You know, or she could have been barren, not being able to have children.
That's right.
So in a sense, you look at an individual and you can, in a sense, you want to put judgment on someone.
Right.
But you don't know their story.
You don't know their whole
what
story.
brings them to that point.
That's right.
So when you hear someone that's talking all crazy about conspiracy theories, you don't know really what brought them to that point.
Right.
What have they dealt with in their life that make you say, you know what, they're a little off. You know, they might not be off.
Right.
Really, it's just because of their upbringing or what they're watching or believing.
Right.
You know, they might not just be crazy.
Right.
I'll say like that.
Well, here's the thing. You can't assume that the people are crazy.
Right.
You know? But what I will say is that we have been systematically kept out of certain conversations. So you have whole groups of communities that are making decisions about their body and about their health without all the information. Like you look at diabetes, you look at heart disease, you look at high blood pressure. Now, yes, there's facts on the internet or in books on how you can alleviate those issues and you can get those health issues out of our community. But if you have a significant segment of our community not being exposed to the importance and the dire need for health and nutrition, then you're going to have people that don't take those matters into their hand. When you have people that are not exposed to other types of medicine, like you look at the way Asians live, you look at the way Jamaicans live, you look at people from West of Africa and how they live and how they don't succumb to some of the crazy, stupid stuff that we do in our country as far as health is concerned. And you go, wow, why don't we study those people so we can see a more naturopathic way to health as opposed to just taking a shot or doing drugs every single time the government or so pharmaceutical company tells us we need to do a shot. So you're right. There are people that
this time I don't know how I don't know how my spiritual moment just went back to her.
No,
whole
I'm
thing
saying
about how
the
the lady
Boaz
at
you
the
were
well.
saying. No, but you were saying how people don't know better. So people made choices with their body and with their health because they just didn't know better.
I was in the religious aspect of don't put judgment on people that you don't, you know, just you're reading a book by its cover. You don't know a woman's life when you just see her doing. And you went back to the whole. That's why I said this wasn't a topic because I know you get passionate about it and whatever else I had just said. I was talking about Jesus meeting this woman at the well and how and you just went whole back to conspiracy and they ain't doing nothing in China. They ain't educating us and it's like it just took it the whole different way. So I'm done. I'm Marty McFly. I was trying to have a religious moment with y'all. You know, just go to church on Sunday. You know, pray to God and, you know, yeah.
I totally missed the mark on that one.
Because you got passionate.
So what about, so the issue So the lady with the issue of blood, we don't know her story.
Well, we know she had an issue of blood.
Oh,
we
no,
know her
wait a minute.
story.
This is the lady at the well.
You ain't even listening.
No,
to
I
she
said
just,
it was the
that's the
lady.
thing. People are waiting
It was
to
a
talk
lady.
versus waiting
It was a lady.
to try to teach your listener.
It wasn't the issue of blood. It was the well lady.
yeah,
That was, and
yeah,
then people
well,
thought that it was inappropriate for Jesus to be hanging out with her, right?
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, you didn't women and men didn't really talk and stuff like that. She was a Samaritan woman, but that wasn't the point of what I was talking about. It was people judging her.
People judged her and didn't know her
life.
story.
Yeah. So anyway,
But did the community know her story?
Hit us up at 1-888-349 Donnie. That's 1-888-349-3664. If you got a comment or if you want to hear more about the inspirational moment, give us a call.
Please call Marty about the inspirational moment.
No. Then when I say I ain't got nothing, I don't do it. Don't do it. Do it.
Yeah.
But we just gonna kind of eradicate everything you said because I want to get my point. Anyway, Donnie, have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm gonna just get on off the radio. You're listening to Doni Jones Live. I am Marty McFly. That's Doni Jones, and we will see you next week.
Yes, we will see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones